want you to come back. Finally, in 1692, the King of Spain heard, and he sent the governor to come in here and resettle New Mexico. His name, Don Diego de Vargas Zapata y Luján Ponce de León, el Marquis de la Nava de las Barcinas, to his friends known as Don. And the Spanish governor was given this direction by the King of Spain. I want this to be a re-entry and a resettlement. I want it to be peaceful. No quiero que sea una carnicería. That's a direct quote from the King of Spain. You know what that means? I want the settlement to be peaceful. I do not want it to be a butchery. In other words, don't do the same stupid things you did before, tontos. So Don Diego de Vargas came up and, bringing the statue of our Blessed Mother, camped outside Santa Fe, which had now been taken over by the Tano Indians. And he started parleying with them. He started talking to them. Isn't that novel? Instead of imposing terms, he was talking to them. And when he entered the pueblo, he took off his helmet and his armor and his sword. That's why I'd like to affirm the Fiesta Council's decision not to have Don Diego de Vargas walk into the church for all the ceremonies of the fiestas with a sword. Because he took it off. He took his armor off when he went to talk with the Indians. And he had a secret weapon. Not only did he have his faith in the Blessed Mother, whom he asked to intercede on his behalf, but he had hot chocolate. You see, chocolate came from the Valley of Mexico, and the Indians there had introduced it to the Spanish, and we all know how yummy chocolate is. Well, the Indians here had never seen it. It's a tropical kind of dish. So he would make hot chocolate on the open fire, and with the elders of the community of the Indians, he treated with them, and they came to an agreement that the city of Santa Fe would be peacefully resettled. That's what the fiestas are about. Not the conquest of one people over the other. See, if the Spanish came back and established control, they did so, but much humbler. You see, they'd had their butts kicked. They came back much humbler, willing to accept the Indians as partners in settling this harsh land. And the Franciscans came back, not wanting to obliterate the Indian religion, but now saying the Indian religion is like the Old Testament. It's fully wonderful and beautiful. It's just waiting for Jesus, that's all. We don't have to obliterate the native religion to tell them about Jesus. In 1692, we have the birth of new Mexican culture. You know, you go to Mexico City, there is a plaza there called La Plaza de las Tres Culturas. It's very impressive. And there's a big monument in the center, and it says this: on this site, valiantly taken by Hernán Cortés, the Spanish general, and valiantly defended by Cuauhtémoc, the last Aztec king, there was not the defeat of one people or the victory of another, but the painful birth of a third, the Mexican people, okay? If you can understand that sentiment, that's what happened in 1692. It was not one people winning a victory over the other or another people being defeated. It was the painful birth of our new Mexican culture. And even though we're distinct in many ways as Native Americans and Hispanics and Anglos and things of that nature, yet we have so much in common that we're all mixed up. Like, for example, I'll give you a few examples. We like to call the enchiladas, burritos, chimichangas, and all that kind of stuff Spanish food. A little secret, it ain't. I've been to Spain many, many times. I have never found an enchilada. I've never found chili, red or green. I've never found corn. They eat a lot of fish. They eat a lot of pork, and their food's very mild. Where do we get the chili from? The Indians. Thank you. Thank you, Indian brothers and sisters, yes, for that wonderful gift. Otherwise, our food would be boring. And yet, on the other hand, we call turquoise and silver jewelry Indian, but it's really Spanish in origin because the Indians didn't know how to work silver before the Spanish arrived. You see what I'm saying? We're so mixed up, we don't know where one ends and the other one begins. You know, and we even intermarry. Yes, we do. I don't think there's a single Spanish family in New Mexico that doesn't have some Indian blood, and I doubt there's any Indian family that doesn't have some Spanish blood back somewhere, no? So we're all mixed up there. Even my great-grandmother was Apache. One of our Indian princesses, Jicarilla. That's right, my grandmother was Jicarilla Apache. So we're all mixed up anyway, aren't we? So that's what we're celebrating at the fiestas. The beginning of our culture, this great mosaic of New Mexican peoples. And you know what the miracle behind it is? I'll shut up now, Gabby, okay? The great miracle of this is that peace established in 1692 still holds. You look at places like North Ireland or Palestine and the Jewish and the Muslims there, or you look at Bosnia, or you look at Iraq, and you see all those different peoples of different religions and ethnic backgrounds, and for thousands of years they've been at war. Here in New Mexico, for 300 years we've been at peace because of 1692. Now, Don Diego de Vargas at the fiesta said it should be celebrated this way, with vespers, a procession, and mass. Vespers is evening prayer. When one day ends, the other one begins. What he was saying is the old age of oppressing each other and fighting each other is over. There is a new day. A procession is not a Catholic parade. It's a reminder that this life is a journey through this valley of tears, and that unless we work together and walk together, we won't make it. And the Mass is what we like to get to in heaven, at the banquet of eternal life, where together, all of us, Indian, Hispanic, Anglo, black, white, gay, straight, whatever, will be seated at the banquet of the Lord as equals, loved by the same God who made us all. That's what the fiesta is about.